Hi everyone, I'm Melissa with Midnight Hour Oil. I wanted to come out today and share a few dreams with you I have been given over the past few nights, what I believe are sobering warning dreams, as well as another dream I was given back in November, and I kind of shared it in my presentation video, but I also wanted to share it in this video and just ensure that people hear this warning. So the first dream I'm going to share is the one I was given 2 nights ago on December 8th. Okay, and in this dream, this is actually the second dream I have been given in 2025 concerning darkness, a time of darkness. A lot of people have been shown is coming, and so we just need to take this to the Lord in prayer, all right, as with everything. I know there's a lot of different opinions about it, but I believe the Lord is showing me that there is a time of darkness coming. So in this dream, my husband and I were in our living room and we were just sitting there, and I had it in my mind that it was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And all of a sudden, it was almost like when you take a dimmer switch and you just turn it and it just went down. The light just went down and it got dark. It was just dark within seconds, like 5 seconds. And I knew this was it. I knew this was the time of darkness. Now, the last dream I was given about the time of darkness, that was before Hannakuah came out and shared her testimony, where Jesus told her that there would be a time of darkness, 3 days of darkness, and that the transformation of the church would take place within their homes during that time of darkness. But this time I had that knowing in my spirit. This was the time of the darkness that Hannakuah was shown was coming. And so I immediately fell to my knees and I said to Alan, "Give me your hand." And we just began to pray. And I mean, I was praying soberly, humbly, with tears. All right. I knew this was it. Just, Lord, let me be found worthy to escape all that's coming. We want to be with you. We want to go with you. All right. That kind of praying. And then I noticed, like, around me were like a lot of the people from the Watchman community, and one had a laptop open, and they started playing this video, and it was of a scoffer who was saying that this time of darkness wasn't of God, this wasn't from him, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, what is going on? I'm thinking, why are they listening to somebody who is scoffing about this? We know this has been prophesied to happen. And so I was confused why they were listening to this scoffing, mocking voice. Well, anyway, then I woke up from that dream, and when I went back to sleep, I had another dream. And in this other dream, I was around everybody who was like in this Watchman community. And I'm standing there and I'm trying to tell them about this warning dream I had just been given, where people in the Watchman community were not taking the darkness, this prophecy of darkness, seriously. And they were listening to wrong voices. They were listening to scoffers and mockers who were saying that this darkness wasn't from the Lord. And as I'm trying to tell them about this warning dream, they're distracted. They're not listening. They're not paying attention. So I became more firm in the way I was addressing them. And I was like, listen, you need to listen to this warning. Okay. This warning is for the Watchman community. We have to be careful what voices we are listening to right now. It will be very easy for us to be distracted and get off track if we are not careful. And so the warning is to be sober-minded, to be humble, and to stay on your knees in prayer, all right? And understand when this darkness hits, it's not going to be like everybody is celebrating. I think that one video I had referenced back in my presentation, George, who talked about how judgment and the rapture, the church escape and judgment are simultaneous. And when that hits, it's not going to be like I think a lot of people think. It's going to be very sobering. It's going to be probably even scary. And especially the thought of anybody that we know and love who are not ready. All right, so this is not a time for us to be doing somersaults. This is a time for us to be sober and be ready and stay ready, church. All right, stay steady. Be careful who you're listening to. I can't emphasize that enough, because those voices of the enemy can steer us in the wrong direction, and we can be caught off guard if we're not careful. Okay. All right. So then the dream I was given last night. Okay, this is a very strange dream, but I believe the Holy Spirit has shown me what the warning here is, and I'm going to try to unpack it as we go. All right, in this dream, there was a man who was probably 26, 27 years old, and his name was Led Zeppelin. And he was married to another man. They were both from China, and they were on the news, and they were announcing that they were going to take over the world. And as soon as they made that announcement, they were like celebrating and kissing, and it was just, it was very disturbing. So when I woke up from the dream, I told my husband about it because I really don't know anything about Led Zeppelin. I thought, I didn't know if it was a band or a single person. And so when I told Alan immediately said, well, one song that they're really well known for is Stairway to Heaven. I'm going to go over some of the lyrics. I'm not going to go over everything. You can go through it yourself if you want, and I wouldn't recommend actually listening to the music because the hertz that they play that music on will destroy your DNA. Okay, but the first thing is, why were the two men, Led Zeppelin, why was he married to a man who symbolized China, who wants to take over the world? This goes back to Romans chapter 1, verses 22 through 27, that explains that homosexuality is a result of a nation that embraces idol worship. All right, so what is the idol here in China? Well, it's interesting because if you go through the lyrics of this song, one of the first things they say is, there's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. And so this speaks of China, which is buying up gold, and there are news articles that will confirm this. Okay, so why does China want all this gold? Well, because she wants to be the economic leader of the world, and this is the stairway that she is building so she can be on top economically. All right, and then if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. So if a nation is not willing to work with her, she knows how to take what she wants. And we see this going on with Taiwan. But the thing that most Americans don't realize is that she has also set her sights on the West. And there's some lyrics in this song that say, there's a feeling I get when I look to the West, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. All right, so leaving, going to war against the West, and the image, which the rings of smoke, is the aftermath of nuclear war. Okay, but like I said, if you want to go through the lyrics of that song, and there's more to it, but I'm telling you, that was a demonically inspired prophecy concerning China, and I believe that we are right on the cusp of that coming to fruition. Now, the last thing was this dream I was given on November 24th, and like I said, I shared this in my presentation video, but in this dream, I literally I was in a government building, and I knew the person who was working on this beast, and he told me they had finished it, and I in the dream had seen this in a vision. It was like I had a vision in the dream. What I saw in this government building looked like, if you've ever watched The Empire Strikes Back, the Millennium Falcon, but it was like this thing was made of stone, like ancient stone, and it was humming, and I knew that this was the thing that was going to detect if a person had received the mark of the beast or not during the tribulation. And I watched a video recently, and they showed this image, and this is exactly what I saw. So this thing is done. It's complete. It's ready. That's what I was shown in the dream. The beast is ready. And again, I do believe that this piece of machinery is Nephilim technology that has been given to man to serve the purposes of Satan during the tribulation. So with everything being in place, this is a time for us, like I said earlier, to remain sober and watchful and to not listen to any voices that are going to cause us to be filled with doubt or to get off track. All right, we have to stay steady right now until the end of this race. And there's a couple videos that I recently watched, and I'm going to recommend that you take a listen to these as well. They're very sobering. This one, my friend Holly had sent this to me this morning, and it's a vision this man was given, and his channel name is At the Doorstep, and he had a vision on 12/5/25 a few days ago about judgment, and he was seeing these things unfold. He saw Jesus in the sky. You can actually go in and read what he saw in the vision on his channel. He has it written out. I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description box. And then there was another video by Itty Bitty Tara, and she has a video called Hannakuah Rapture ? And she makes some very interesting connections to Hannakuah and the Rapture, which it is interesting to note that Hannakuah is a delayed Sukkot, all right, a Feast of Tabernacles. And I also took note that this year, the 12th day of Hannakuah falls on Christmas Day, which I'm not sure that's ever happened that I'm aware of before, which is interesting. And then in that video, she makes a reference to Charlie Kirk and different things that are interesting. So I just encourage you to take a listen. But most of all, just take everything to the Lord in prayer. Ask Him for confirmations and stay steady, church. Stay sober-minded. Be in prayer for your loved ones, your family members, friends, coworkers, whoever you know isn't ready. Because as much as I want to go home and be with the Lord, I have genuine concerns for the people who will be here, all right? So let's pray for people and stay steady until the very end. As always, it is my prayer that we will all continue to keep our lamps burning bright while we wait for Jesus. I love you all. God bless you.